Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Pedro, and in this video I'm going to be doing a sort of like a studio tour where I'm going to be showing you exactly what I have in this studio, what I use it for, and how much does it cost. This video was actually requested by one of my followers on Facebook who suggested that I should do a video and explain the equipment that I'm buying, why am I buying it, and how much does it cost. So this is what this video is all about. So for the background story, on the 1st of December, I was robbed of all my equipment and everything was stolen. So I started buying equipment one by one, and this is what has come so far, what I'm going to be showing you. So I recently bought all these items. That's why this video is so important, so that at least you can see how much things are costing and stuff like that. So I use this place for three main purposes. The first purpose is, this is my YouTube studio. This is where I record all my YouTube videos, all the gear reviews and stuff like that. The second purpose is, this is where I record all my online classes. Some of you who doesn't know, I have a premium online filmmaking classes that I teach. And the third purpose is, this is where I do my live streaming. So sometimes I go live streaming, teaching videography live, as well as on Zoom meetings and stuff like that. So this is generally what I use this place for. So I'm going to be walking you through all the equipment that I have in this studio and show you exactly how much they cost and why I bought those equipment. So let's start with the place itself. So in general, I have 3 cameras. I'm going to be telling you exactly why. And I have a microphone, I have some lights here, I have some backlights there, I have a computer, I have quite a number of stuff that I'm going to be walking you through step by step. So let's start with the place itself. This is not really a big space. This is just a 3 by 5 square meters area, and this is where I've set up everything. So the first thing that I usually do in any space that I film is to sort of like prepare the place itself. So this was actually a garage, and I just turned it into my YouTube studio / online classes / live streaming. So it is just a garage, and I treated it in a way to reduce echo. So I bought all these acoustic panels, and if you're wondering how much these acoustic panels they cost, each one is a 50 centimeter by 50 centimeter, and it cost 65 rands. So to cover this whole studio, I need about 100 acoustic panels. So far, I've covered half of the studio. That's why this studio tour is a 3.0, because as I upgrade the place and as I finish the place, I'm going to be updating exactly what is in this studio. So I covered this whole area with acoustic panels. I ordered all the acoustic panels to cover this area. Costed me about 6,500 rands. On top of that cost, to make sure that the studio is prepared nicely, I had some people to do the ceiling board, as well as create a demarcation for me so that I can put acoustic panel, because this is where the door of the garage is. So I had to remake that, and it costed me about 3,000 rands. So after I'm done with a space, the next big thing that I look at in videography is lighting. Lighting is the most important part of videography. So I have some lighting situation going on in this place, and the first light that I usually set up is the backlight. So in this studio, I'm using these 3 Dracast lighting. I have one here, it's a backlight. I have one there, it's also a backlight. And I have one over there, is also a backlight. Why have I set them in such a way is, no matter which angle of this studio I sit, at least I have a permanent backlight that is hanging. I love these lights because they are semi-spotlight. They are not really floodlights, and they are good especially for backlighting. So if I'm sitting like this, if I'm using this background, I have a backlight. If I turn to this background, I have a backlight there. And if I turn and I'm using this background, I have a backlight there. So all 3 of them, I bought them for 17,000. I bought them new, and plus 2,000 rands for shipping. Alongside the backlights, I have these LED panel lights that are shooting in the ceiling board to sort of like create an even lighting in the studio. That's why you can see there is no shadows because of these 2 lights. And these are just LED panels that I bought for 2,500 for both of them. They are battery powered. They also have a place where you can power them straight to electricity. Apart from that, the other parts of lighting that I have is these LED strips here. These are practical lights. Sometimes I love them to appear in the video. They make the video look nice. And these strips I bought each one of them for 250 rands. So for the 4 of them in this studio, they costed me 1,000 rands. On top of that, I also have this practical light over here. So if I turn it on, I can use this light to change the mood in the studio. So it's also shooting in the ceiling, so I can create a nice colored ambient. It's an RGB light, and I bought it for 200 rands. And for my key light and fuel light, I'm using these giant soft boxes that I bought from Godox, and they costed me 1,600 each. The other one, I haven't set it up because I only need one at the moment, but the times that I need two, I have another soft box that I can use. The lights that I'm using inside these soft boxes are these LED highlighting lamp 300 watts, which I bought for about 3,500 each. So these are the lights that I use for key light and fuel light. And to finish off with the lighting in this studio, I have these tube lights that are RGB, and I use it for, sometimes as practical lights, sometimes, for product videos and stuff. So if I need to change colors and stuff like that, I can use these ones to just really like modify. Sometimes I'll need an extra light as a, as a rim light and stuff like that. So I have these lights that I normally use. They are really good. They are rechargeable lights. You can use it for pretty much anything. So that is the lighting situation in this studio. So let's go to the audio. All right, so when I'm done with the lighting setup, the next big thing that I look at in my studio is audio. Audio is as important as the video itself. Most videographers neglect audio, but it is as important as the picture itself. So this is the main camera that I use in my studio to record my YouTube videos, as well as my online filmmaking classes. And the camera that I'm using is the Red Scarlet. I'm gonna talk about it later. But on my camera, this is where I have hooked the audio system. So the audio system that I use to record my YouTube videos and my online classes, the audio system that I use is this Comic audio mixer that I bought from Amazon for around 2,000 rands. This is where I plug in the microphone. It has got a phantom power. This is where I plug in the microphone, and the out goes straight to the camera. I like recording audio straight inside the camera so that I don't have this delay of trying to link audio and if I was recording it with a computer. The microphone that is hooked here is this Sennheiser MKE 600. I love this microphone. I bought this microphone for around 8,000 rands. It really works perfectly. Alongside, I use these Rode Wireless Go 2 Pro microphones that I use when I'm doing videos like this. Maybe it's a studio tour, I'm moving up and down. You can hook this microphone to your smartphone, to your DSLR camera, to pretty much anything. It's a really good microphone. And I bought this one on Amazon for around 5,500. And the cheaper alternative that I was using before this one is these Ceramic Blink 500 they are also good. They work also like the Rode Wireless 2. They are the cheapest alternative that I bought for around 3,000 rands. But they don't have enough range. Sometimes the audio also is a little bit weak. The Rode Wireless actually is really better than these ones, but they also work fine. If your budget doesn't allow you to buy the Rode Wireless Go 2 Pro, you can get these Ceramic Blink 500. All right, the other alternative that you can get is these TX microphones. They also have the same form factor as the Rode Wireless Go 2. Here they are. They are really good as well. The sound is not really that great, but they work. They get you clear sound. I also bought these ones for around 1,500. They're the cheapest, but they still work. So when it comes to audio, that is my audio setup that I use in my studio. Now let's talk about the camera itself. The camera that I use to record my YouTube videos as well as my online filmmaking classes is this Red Mysterium X. that I bought for around 65,500 second hand, of course, for the body. And I also purchased the battery plate for it for around at 2,000 rands as well. So this is the camera that I use. The lens that I'm using on this camera is this Rokinon 24mm T1.5. It's a really good fast lens and I love it. I bought this lens for around 12,000. I also bought this Red Pro Red Mode. This is a wireless remote controller for my Red cinema camera. So sometimes if I'm recording and the camera is a little bit at a distance, I can simply use this to control the camera. It's a really nice gadget. I bought this one for around 2,500 second hand. It really works perfect. So that is one of the accessories that I bought for the Red cinema camera. As you know, most cinema cameras don't really have good autofocus system. Even though I bought the lens mount that can enable this Red cinema camera to have autofocus, the autofocus in this camera is terrible. Even the lens that I'm using, it doesn't have autofocus capabilities. So since I film my videos by myself, to help me with autofocus, I bought this PD Movie Live Air Mini Smart Motor that can turn any manual lens into an autofocus beast. So this is the one that is hooked on this camera, and surprisingly it works really well. The autofocus is fast. It doesn't miss. Once you calibrate it properly, it doesn't miss autofocus. If you take something inside, it automatically focuses there. So this is the system that is helping me for autofocus in this studio. So I can film myself pretty much anywhere in this studio without really minding whether I'm in focus or not, because this is damn really good and fast. Another thing that I have hooked to my main camera is this external monitor, which is from Blackmagic. I bought this one for around 6,700 from eBay as well. It really works fine. It is a monitor. At the same time, it's also a recorder that can record really high quality HD video in ProRes and stuff like that. So this is the monitor that I have hooked here. The other accessory that I use on my main camera is this 24-inch Rhino slider arc that I bought for 35,000. This is a game changer. You can do quite a lot of things with this. When I'm shooting B-roll clips of the gear that I'm reviewing, or maybe it's a product, I use this slider a lot. You can set in motion. You can do all sorts of things with this slider. It's really handy. It's really gorgeous. And I can set the output point here, and then you can set however you want it to move. It can move automatically back and forth by itself. That is the sweet part about it. You can loop it and you can start with the motion. It's really handy. This slider, I love it. I love it a lot. You can do quite a lot of creative shots with this slider and stuff like that. So it can move on its rails back and forth by itself. At the remote, you can always plug it here. It's magnetic. So that is the other accessory that I use on my main camera. It's really handy for shooting B-roll clips inside the studio. So this slider is suspended on this heavy-duty tripod that I got for around 7,000. It supports this slider without having to put two tripods. Just itself alone, it can support the weight of this Red cinema camera. It can also support a lot of other things. So this is a heavy-duty tripod that I use inside my studio. So that is all about what is hooked on my main camera in my studio. And now I'm going to show you another piece of gear that I use a lot. It is a monitor. It is also a live streaming capture card. Let's go to that. All right, the other monitor that I use in my studio is the Atomos Ninja 5, which I bought for 14,000. And this is not just a monitor, it is also an external recorder that I use to record videos. It can record RAW. It can also record at 4K 60 frames per second. It is basically an all-in-one sort of a device. I normally take it with me anytime I'm going for a shoot. It's the brightest monitor that I have. And the biggest advantage with this monitor is you can actually pair it with the Atom X Cast, which I bought for around 5,200. With this pairing, I use this unit for my live streaming. This monitor can only take HDMI input and output. So if I'm using a camera that has got SDI, I also bought this Atom X SDI 12G for around 3,000. With this one, I can perfectly connect an SDI camera to this monitor and everything will be perfect. And when it comes to live streaming inside this studio, I use this setup right here. This is the cool setup that I'm using right now. Before I was using the Atem Mini Pro, which was working perfect, but I think this unit works even better. So I have got 4 inputs. I can input 4 cameras, just like the Atem Mini Pro. But the advantages of this unit is it is a capture card which has got also an external monitor. So you can actually monitor your cameras through this unit, unlike with the Atem Mini, which you had to plug to an external monitor. So as a mobile live streamer, sometimes all I need to take is this, and I'll be able to live stream anywhere that I'm going. So I can input like 4 cameras, and my setup in this studio is usually 3 cameras. So I have camera number 1, I have camera number 2, I have camera number 3, and if I want to connect a computer, maybe I'm doing a tutorial on color grading, I can connect the computer and I can live stream everything at once. All right, so when it comes to live streaming, I'm using the Canon C300 Mark I, both of them. I bought these cameras for $56,000 for the both of them, and I also bought 128 gigabyte CF Express cards times 2 of them. I bought both of them for about $7,400. So if you look closely, I have a teleprompter on this one. So whenever I'm recording courses, whenever I'm recording something that needs memorization, I normally use this teleprompter here, which I bought also on Amazon for around $2,500. And on each camera, I have 2 lenses there. My all-time favorite Sigma 18 to 35mm f1.8, which is on this camera. I bought it 13,000 rands. And on this one, I have the mighty 24 to 105mm f4 Canon lens, which I bought for around 11,000. And the tripods where these cameras are, this one is a VT2100. I bought this tripod for around 3,500. And then on this other side, I have a lightweight tripod that I normally travel with sometime. And this one, I bought it for 1,200. Can actually support my camera without any problem. It's a very strong tripod. I actually bought this one for 1,300 instead of 1,200. These are the cameras that I use when I'm doing live streaming. And when it comes to the computers that I use in my studio, I have 2 actually. So I have this laptop here. This one is a gigabyte RTX graphics card inside 3060. And I bought this laptop for 24,000 rands. It's really good. I usually do my editing on this laptop. I usually do my live streaming on this laptop. I usually carry it around. This is the laptop that I normally use to save my files when I've gone to film. Then I have another computer that I use. Whenever I go live, there's always one computer that is live streaming, and there's another computer that I'm using for demonstrating. So either the laptop or this one, it doesn't matter, whichever ones, because both of them are really good, are very fast. This one is a gigabyte a desktop that I built. It has got RTX 4060 graphics card, 8 GB, and it has got 64 GB RAM. The processor is also good. And I built this computer for about 11,000. And when it comes to the monitors that I'm using, I'm just using these regular office monitors. This is a 24-inch, this is a 27-inch. I bought both of them for 5,000, if I remember correctly. That is how much I spent. And both of these monitors are suspended with this computer bracket arm, which I bought for 1,300. And I also have this monitor, which I use to monitor everything inside the studio. So right now I have 3 cameras that are connected plus the computer. And when I'm doing live streaming, sometimes to have a monitor inside the studio that can show everything in a bigger picture is really great. So I've been using this 32-inch monitor that I got for around 3,000. And finally, the other 2 things that I didn't want to forget is I also have a tablet that I use in the teleprompter. This is a Samsung tablet, 7-inch. I bought it for 1,800. It's a old model, but for what I want it to do, it can actually do the job. This is the one that I use when I am doing teleprompter. It's the one that I put in the teleprompter. And the other thing that I forgot to talk about is this matte box here, which actually helps to cut some of the reflections. You can see what it is doing. It is blocking lights from hitting the sensor, which makes the videos really come out nice. I bought this mat box for 1,500, and yeah, that's it, guys. So when you're buying equipment for your studio or for whatever that you want to do, it's not really about having the latest and powerful equipment. It's about actually getting equipment that you can use and do a great job. The equipment that has got specs that you need. So for me, this Red Cinema camera, it has got all the specs that I need, despite it being a teenage of a camera. This camera is 14 years old, but it's still holding up for a lot of things that I do. Sometimes I still even take it for music video shoots. I shot a lot of music videos on the Red Scarlet, a very good camera, but this is not all the equipment that I need. Like I said, I still have 2 more cameras that are coming. I have the Red Gemini 5K that is coming. I have the Red Helium 8K that is coming. Those are the cameras that I'll be using to do clients' work. But the stuff that I just showed you, these are personal stuff, personal projects, YouTube, online schools, and stuff like that. By the way, I have been working on 4 new courses that are coming up. I've been working on smartphone videography course. I've worked on how to create online filmmaking classes, or whatever career that you are into. If you want to start teaching people online, whether it's makeup, whether it is plumbing, whether it is woodwork, I'm going to teach you how to effectively create an online course to sell your skill. And also there's After Effects course that is coming, where I go through the basics of After Effects. It's a wonderful course. And lastly, there's a YouTube course that I'm dropping. This course is going to be amazing. It shows you how to shoot YouTube videos, how to market your YouTube channel, how to get monetized and stuff like that. So it's a lot that is coming, guys. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do it now so that you don't miss. I'll be posting on a regular basis, 3 videos a week. How about that? I know that a lot of you have missed me. I'm back, and we are here now to stay. I want to grow this YouTube channel to 150,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if I can do it, you can also do it. I'll see you in the next video. This is it. Peace.